The excursion of the Studium Biblicum Francescanum to rereading the biblical pages in a historical-geographical perspective. The excursion to present this land in its geographical and historical reality through all the epochs, the places where God's revelation was manifested. A time to experience the biblical environment. Don Gianantonio has trained with the great archaeologists of the Holy Land. Yes, I did a good training, we could say, of biblical excursions here in the Studium Biblicum Francescanum, with Father Eugenio Alliata, the ones for Jerusalem, and with Father Carmelo Pappalardo, the ones just outside the city of Jerusalem. Then, with the biblical excursions, I was accompanied by Professor Peter Casvalder of venerable memory, Father Massimo Luca and Father Frederick Mans, who accompanied us precisely to the biblical lands. We spent many hours here, in these routes, inside Jerusalem, near and outside the walls, and then in the biblical lands that we consider here with our excursions. Excursions help to approach biblical topography, together with archaeological topography.
La proposta è una proposta possibilmente omnicomprensiva.
Our proposal is possibly all-inclusive, of the archaeological and historical sites of the Holy Land of Israel, Palestine, Jordan, Greece, and then the area of Turkey to enter the biblical environment. And so our proposal in these years of intensive study is precisely that of trying to approach these lands, to approach them with biblical topography and together with archaeological topography. And therefore the Franciscan excavations, the excavations of antiquity, let's say the Israeli ones, where we visit, for example, Jordan, and then we take and put our hands to these researchers and then enter the land and follow the footsteps of those who have preceded us.
Entrare nella terra e seguirne le orme di coloro che ci hanno preceduto.
Full time with excursions to Jerusalem, Galilee, and also the Negev Desert, Greece, Jordan, Turkey.
È un tempo, diciamo, solido, è un tempo in cui bisogna stare proprio.
It is a solid time, and a time when you have to be right in the land and experience the biblical environment. We are not in a greater percentage than the study of scripture, of exegesis, or the languages that are the integral part. But this is also the turning point to unite the study of scripture, the exegesis, the philology of the parts, that is, Old Testament and New Testament, and find them. And see them in the places, in the holy places. It is obvious that being in Jerusalem, being inside the old city, one of the important aspects is just to be there, and also to give the students a time that they can extend beyond the excursions in the program.
Un tempo che loro possono prolungare oltre a quelle che sono le escursioni del programma.
For Don Gianantonio, a dream that exceeded expectations.
Certo. Per me è stato un sogno che è diventato
For me,
realtà.
it was a dream come true. I cultivated it over the years, in the first years of my priesthood in my diocese. Having other services, I asked the bishop if I could continue his studying in Jerusalem, and it became a concrete reality. It was tiring and required a spirit of sacrifice, but it became a reality for me, and I could not do without it in this union, we could say, of studying the places and the scriptures, or the scriptures and the places. So for me it was a great experience that I still consider to be an all-encompassing and comprehensive experience, given that I started as a student and now I'm a teacher after a long journey of training. It has surpassed my expectations because in celebrating the centenary, you can see how in 100 years, those who have passed through here, who have had their experience here, have proclaimed the gospel with these very instruments, have left a special mark and still do to those who come here to visit Jerusalem.
Vengono in visita qui a Gerusalemme.